Hey everybody out there, and today for you guys we are going to be doing an update of a deck that I created a couple years ago, and I profile it about once a year for fun for you guys, and it's a fun deck to play actually. It's very ironic though, and that is my Lord of the Red deck profile. And the reason I say it's kind of ironic, this deck, is because the best build I have found for playing this deck is running a Blue Eyes engine with it. However, I will state this fact. You could run the incantations, but I found that the versatility of the deck went up when I combined it with the with the Blue Eyes Red Dragon engine. So you're going to see some weird little ratios, but I'm telling you guys, it works out. I've had no problems with the deck, and I thoroughly enjoy playing with this deck. So without further ado, let us get into the deck profile. So first off, we run 3 Lord of the Red. Lord of the Red is an amazing card in the deck. The fact that some people have told me, and I agree with them to some agree with them to some point, Lord of the Red is actually a better ritual than Blue Eyes Chaos Max in principle, because Lord of the Red can be reactive and active. So it can do stuff on your turn, and it can do stuff on your opponent's turn, which is awesome for that reason. The fact that he's also level 8 is why I combined him with Blue Eyes Red Dragon, because he can work with Return of the Dragon Lords, he can work for a whole bunch of different other means, and he's overall very versatile for that reason. The only thing that he's not great for is because his attack is a little bit lower, but he's really useful when you combine him with a Blue Eyes Red Dragon deck. So 3 Lord of the Red. So Joey Wheeler works with Seto Kaiba to be a deck, I guess. So this is kind of a mixture between Joey Wheeler and Seto Kaiba, which is kind of, I've always found interesting. Next we run 3 Blue Eyes Red Dragon, which is staple in the deck. Like I said, you're running a pseudo Blue Eyes Red Dragon engine, which is a little bit more of a control variation, because with Lord of the Red, you can, if you guys don't know what Lord of the Red does, you can destroy things on your opponent's turn and their turn when they activate an effect or something, which is nice. But Blue Eyes Red Dragon is staple in any Blue Eyes variation, and that's where we run it as a 3 of in the deck. The same goes through 3 Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, which is pretty straightforward. In any Blue Eyes Red Dragon deck, you run 3 Blue Eyes Red Dragon, right? Yep. So that's why we run 3 Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon as well in the deck. Next up, we run 1 Dragon Spirit of White. This is pretty staple in any Blue Eyes Red Dragon deck out there, for the reason that it helps you get rid of back row, it helps you dodge effects if you need to, it helps you do a multitude of different things in a pinch when you need to, and I really like it for that reason. Now, I have discussed it with some friends of mine of possibly bumping it up to maybe 2 of, but at the end of it, because it's a ritual based level 8 deck, but at the end of the day I'm still keeping it as a 1 of. Double Sage with the Eyes of Blue. Like I've said in my Blue Eyes Standard deck, I like it as a 3 of in that variation of the deck. In this deck, you're more reliant upon the normal summon with Manjus and other cards out there, and in addition to that, he's just not as useful as he would be in a standard Blue Eyes deck. So I just like him as a 2 of in this version of the deck. You could run 3 if you want to fit the space though. Next, 2 White Stone of Ancients and 1 sorry, that's in German. I forgot this Blue Eyes Stone was in German. Somebody gave this to me recently. But Blue Eyes Legend of this thing. I can't pronounce German. I forgot. My friend gave me this German one recently. I looked at the card to pronounce it. I was like, that's in German. I can't pronounce that. That's funny. I'm keeping that in the video. But yeah, 1 blue White Stone of Legend, 1 White Stone of Legend, there we go, and double White Stone of the Ancients. I like this ratio in this particular build of the deck. You need to cut some space out of cards that are not as essential as they would be in maybe a standard variation of Blue Eyes Red Dragon. So that's why we're running this ratio. 2 Manju of 10,000 hands, and you may say, what? You're only running 2 Manju of 10,000 hands? Yeah, I'm only running 2 because don't forget, in this deck you can run this card too. Now you kind of understand where I'm going with this. It's not as essential Manju is. Could you still run Manju? Yes. But the thing about this deck is it's gonna get more bang for its buck using the Blue Eyes engine than it is going to be the ritual part of the engine. So for that reason, I didn't want to cut other cards out that would hinder the main engine of the deck, being the Blue Eyes White Dragon engine, for the ritual variation. And your normal summon's kind of important and with Sage. So if you have a Sage in Manju, you're most likely going to use the Sage instead of the Manju unless you have the proper hand. But that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I decided to run just 2 Manju. So you can run 3 if you want to find the space, though. Be my guest. Double Effect Veiler and triple Ash Blossom of Joyous Springs. Your hand traps. You want to run them in this deck because this deck wants to negate your opponent's stuff. You want to destroy Transmigration, which we run as a 3 of in the deck. This is a staple 3 of card in the deck. I love the artwork, by the way. But this guy can be searched out through three Preparation of Rites, because you can go pre-prep, search this, there you go. Instant Ritual. But you run 3 of. This is your Ritual card. 3 Pre-Preparation of Rites, which I alluded to earlier. You run this as a 3 of in this version of the deck. It's not like Chaos Max where you can't run this, but in this variation you can, which is awesome. Thanks be to God. But yeah, you run 3 of this. 3 Melody of the Awakened Dragons. This helps search out all your Blue Eyes needs, your Blue Eyes, and your alternative. Pretty straightforward. 3 Return of the Dragon Lords. Pretty straightforward as well. This also can bring back Lord of the Red if he gets destroyed, I believe. Because Lord of the Red doesn't state anything of it. It only saying something along these lines of it can only be brought out by ritual summoning in no other way. It doesn't say that on the card. So to my knowledge, what I was told by a judge when I originally built this deck 2 years ago, unless the ruling has changed, or he mistold me, this can bring back Lord of the Red and give it protection. And you also, the cool thing about this, and it's not even the fact that you can bring it back, but the fact that you can because Lord of the Red is a level 8, which is cool. You can banish this if this is in graveyard to protect your Lord of the Red because he's a level 8. Hey, that's cool because he's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So, yep. This can protect this, which is cool. So that's actually, people have not noticed that. They'll attack it thinking they can run over it, and I'm like, banish Return of the Dragon Lords, and like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's a level 8. So yeah, it catches people off guard a little bit. 3 trade-in, more draw power for the deck. It's pretty straightforward. 1 Dragon Shrine, 1 Foolish Burial. This is to help send your stones to graveyard, deck thin, add cards to your hand, whatever. And we also add 1 Monster Reborn. I've talked about why I run not double Dragon Shrine at the moment, but just Dragon Shrine and Foolish in a different video. But yeah, that's what we're running there. So that's your main deck there, guys. Let's get into the extra. 1 Azure Eyes and 1 Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. That's what we run in the extra deck there so far. 1 Link Karibo, 1 All Mirage. We also won 1 Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, which you sometimes go into. You run the Galaxy Eyes package, so you run Cypher, Full Armor, and Cypher Blade. Then we also run the Fusion because I still make this and this wins me games sometimes. We run the Nightmare Engine of Cerberus and Unicorn, and this got mixed around here, but these are the 2 other level 8s I also run in the deck in addition to the Galaxy Eyes package, which is number 38 and number 68, which do come in handy. You can run some other level 8s if you want to, but these are the ones I run in the deck, and it works out pretty well for me. So I hope you guys all enjoy this deck profile. This deck is really fun to play around with, guys. It's a fun deck, but it actually is really good. Like, people don't... it's such a fun version of a ritual because, you know, you've probably played Blue Eyes Chaos Max, but have you played Blue Eyes Lord of the Red before? Because it's a completely different animal, and it's such a fun little deck to play. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this deck profile, and until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. If you like this video, please leave a like down below, and remember to subscribe to the channel. If you would like to see other variations of Blue Eyes White Dragon, I have a Blue Eyes Chaos Max deck profile on my channel, a standard variation, and I also have a Blue Eyes Shining version on my channel, a fusion variation. All of these which I have done in this year of 2020. And until next time, guys,